I was just telling everyone we had lots of selections in round 3 this year, almost a
I
hundred
was
selections.
looking at the
Yeah.
number.
So
Congratulations.
thank you.
Congratulations. I thought after I was going through your slides, I actually thought I'm going to, after this session, drop a text or possibly call you to tell you kudos and shout out. What a fantastic outcome for R3 for you. I think phenomenal.
Absolutely.
All in all, R1, R2, R3, I was just looking at the numbers. Brilliant performance. I think 100 plus. I could just see exact number. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's there.
Amazing. So today, let me introduce the Indian School of Business to you. You heard a lot from Sandeep sir and the team, but let me also once again introduce the ISB, the origin story. What is the PGP program? What is it that it has to offer to you? And how is it that you can apply to the program, the do's and don'ts? So I will take the initial 15-20 minutes to take you through the entire story. And then we'll open up the floor for any and all the questions that you may have, right? So with that, allow me to start presenting. So guys, let me tell you that ISB started out in 2001, and not just that, we were the pioneers. We were the first ones to be introducing the 1-year full-time PGP program, right? So historically, MBA has been known as the 2-year full-time residential program. But guys, that's actually called the MIM program, the Masters in Management program. The MBA historically is always the 1-year program designed for working professionals. And here we are, ISB launched for the first time in the country, the 1-year PGP, the original format of the PGP, which was launched by the Harvard, right? And when we launched this, we decided not to reinvent the wheel, but to partner with already the best players, the existing players in the market. So our founding, the 5 founding B schools, which are the Kellogg's, the Wharton, the LBS, MIT, and the Fletchers, these are our partner schools. These are our founding schools. These schools got together to offer what we call as the ISB PGP program, right? They have a huge say in which the program has been delivered. We have faculty who travel from these colleges, these countries to deliver the sessions. Not just that, we also have exchange programs. You can choose a term, a student exchange term, to visit these colleges and attend the term. Not just these 5 colleges, over a period of time in last 20 years, we've built a collaboration of 50 plus top universities, top schools in the FT list, wherein you can choose your student exchange program. So that's how the entire PGP program has been designed and delivered in partnership with these 5 schools. Moving on to how is it that we fared in last 20 years, guys, right? So let me tell you that ISB is the youngest school to be appearing in the FT list, which means that in a very short time, we are the leaders in the MBA space. We are number 1 in India for the best MBA program that we have to offer. We're number 4 in Asia, number 32 in the world. And we're number 1 with respect to the highest salary growth that we have to offer to our students, right? Which is again very important, which is why we are here, right? The transition that we're looking at. But not just the FT rankings, pick up any other rankings, be it the Bloombergs, the Forbes, the Economist, all of them rank us the number 1 B school in the country, right? So ISB has been doing well on all the rankings, so to say. So moving on to the next bit, guys. So here again, for the YLP folks, we often get questions around, so how does the class look like? How is it that ISB is unique from the other Ivy League schools? So guys, this is what makes us very unique. If you look at the gender diversity and the academic diversity, we're the only school in the country who's at the Harvard standards. We are able to maintain the 60-40 ratio, be it the gender diversity, be the engineer versus non-engineer mix. We're able to get you that diversity in the class. For you, it's not going to be yet another engineering class where there are about 90% engineers in the class, right? We ensure that there's enough and more representation for industry, functions, the multi-diversity, the non-conventional profiles, the sports person, enough diversity in the class. On the extreme right-hand side, you'll be looking at a range of work experience. That also makes ISB a very unique proposition. 900 students, approximately 600 Hyderabad, 300 Mohali, and the work experience ranges from 2 to 22, sometimes 25. So imagine you sharing your classroom with a doctor, with a lawyer, with a 4G who's got about 20, 25 years of experience. You cannot even begin to imagine the kind of experience that they bring to the class and the class discussions, the case discussions. Yes, you learn from faculty, but what you learn from your peer is equally important. This is the network you will be living in the campus for about a year. and this is your extended family, possibly one even after you graduate. Talking about post-graduation, let me move to my next slide, which is, while this is your current 900 network, let's look at the broader network, which is the alumni network. Again, a very important takeaway and ROI component of an MBA program, right? What is the network that you belong to? So guys, in 20 years, again, we built a very formidable network of 13,500 plus alums, and a potent one too. Over 500 alums are at CXO position, 600 entrepreneurs, approximately 12 unicorns co-founded by our alums, which means you have a great set of leaders who are there to mentor you for any transition that you're looking at. Not just domestic transition, folks. A lot of students reach out to me asking, will I be able to make international transitions through this program? Guys, the answer is yes. If you, on your extreme right hand side, look at a data point, which is approximately 21% of our entire alum database is based outside of the country, which means they have been able to make inroads using this program, right? Leveraging this network. So pick up any organization, any industry, and you will be able to make the transition any country, right? The second key takeaway is, so what these alums have done is, so in order to ensure lifelong learning, they have formulated special interest groups. Now, what these groups do, they conduct various workshops, master classes in collaboration with our ISB faculty and also faculty from our partner schools, be it city-wise meet, international or domestic, or online meets. It's a one-day-long learning intervention wherein you can understand the best practices, unlearn, relearn, and also great network opportunity. You meet with the other alums and possibly the new batches which have enrolled into the program, right? So it's a huge advantage. It's a huge pool of network that you can dip into once you graduate. Coming to the next important takeaway, right? Placements. I did talk about ISB being world number one. So let's look at what makes us as world number one. The average growth between the pre-ISB, the post-ISB salary is about 173%. So that's the kind of growth, average growth that our students are taking. 900 students, over 2,000 plus offer letters, which essentially means each student has more than 2 offer letters, which yes means that unlike other Ivy League schools, you can sit through multiple interviews, have multiple offers, and select the best choice, right? On an average, the students are able to bag about 34 lakhs. So that's also a huge, the program fee is about 32 lakhs and the average CTC is about 34 lakhs. So yeah, that's there again, ISB has a huge plus. Another takeaway from this component is, if you look at the Venn diagram on the screen, guys, students ask me, well, whether I'll be able to do an industry shift, whether I'll be able to make a functional shift. That's your answer. About 79% of our students have been able to change their industry. They have been able to change their function, both industry and function, about 65% of them. So yes, ISB gives you that platform to make any transition into any industry and any function, right? Now, that's an interesting comparison that we've done. So we've looked at the trends of last 5 years. So increasingly, we were getting a lot of questions that, is it the right time to invest in an MBA program? Is it the right time to study? While the wiser ones who do talk about that, yes, recession or downturns are the right time to invest in education, because we know that, of course, promotions are in the lacuna. We don't know whether we'll be able to make those transitions, whether there are enough job openings, but education is always the right option or the safest bet that you can go for. If you look at the last 5 years number, so let's pick up the pandemic here, right? The 2021, the class of 2021. Even during the pandemic, be it the number of organizations who have participated in the placement drives, or the number of offers that we have rolled out to the students, or even the average salary or the median salary that the students have taken, there has only been an uptick. It has not taken a hit. The numbers have not, they've not slid at all, right? It's a testimony what a credible brand ISB is. It's a testimony that you're in safe hands. We will take care of your future transitions, career transition. This 1 year is going to be a meaningful year for you with respect to gaining knowledge, with respect to building potent network, with respect to changing the ecosystem, with respect to getting additional lens, the way you look at businesses, and of course, taking that great transition, moving into the next orbit that you're looking at, right? My next graph also, again, guys, I've tried to compare how the salaries or how the transition has happened for students in various buckets. Here again, this survey or this study stemmed from this one question that was arriving constantly, that while we are the YLP students who've just got about 2 years, 3 years of work experience, are we comparable or are we treated equally? Will we do equally well vis-a-vis somebody who's got 5 years of experience or 8 years of experience or 10 years of experience? So I actually went back to the drawing board and I wanted to look at how they have fared individually in their bucket, and the results were phenomenal. So I've taken the most recent, the batch which graduated last March. So if you look at the stats, if you look at the first two, which is very relevant to today's audience, which is mostly all are from the college, the final or the pre-final years, in these two buckets, up to 2 years or 2 to 3 years, if you look at the average growth, these are the folks who've clocked the maximum growth, 200% plus growth in your pre-ISB, post-ISB salaries. Even if you look at the average salaries that these folks have drawn, it's quite comparable to the overall average of PGP, right? So yes, with data, we have been able to look at it that the YLP folks have done fairly well. They are doing fairly well as compared to the direct admins or the senior execs who've got about 10 years, 15 years of experience. They're doing fairly well in the class, right? So, and on the website, we've published a report which compares exactly this data across 5 years. Due to the paucity of time, I've not sort of put too much of graph and data here. I've just taken the last year's number, but 5 years comparison is available on the website. So you'll be able to compare this data in last 5 years as well. So having talked about ISB, the origin story, the PGP, and what it has to offer to you, let's talk about how to crack ISB, right? There are 3 modes of entry, folks. The direct entry is fairly simple. You've completed your graduation, you've got more than 2 years of experience, you submit your application and you have a direct admit, right? Early entry option is you've completed your graduation, but you have not completed 2 years of work experience as on 31st of March. The batch starts in April. As on 31st of March, you've not completed 2 years of work experience. You can also apply to the program and you get a deferred admission, right? But both the direct entry and the early entry folks, they will go through the same process, which is they have to submit the GMAT GRE, go through the interview process, works hand in hand. YLP is a unique offering. YLP is an entry route for folks, for students who are in their final or pre-final year, and only for YLP. Let me repeat, only for YLP. Right now, if you're applying in stage 1, you do not have to submit your GMAT GRE. We will give you enough and more time to prepare. We'll give you about, so if you're applying in the March deadline, if you're applying in round 2, which is, you'll get about 4-5 months to prepare for your GMAT GRE and upload the GMAT GRE only in the month of August. 31st August is the deadline for GMAT GRE, right? So this is the process for YLP. We'll talk more, we'll spend more time on YLP, with which I'll move on to my next slide. So I'll skip this YMBA part for now. So how is it that we move, right? So you submit your application in stage 1. You submit your academic details, the 10th, 12th, the first semesters, the second semester, whatever semesters have completed. That's when you will go through the process. We will open up the portal for GMAT GRE. The interview process happens and you get your offer letter by December. And that's when you are also parallelly starting to work after your graduation, right? So you have to complete 20 months of work experience. And within these 20 months, how is it that we engage with you? How is it that ISB is going to ensure that your learning continues? We offer something called the learning weekends, right? For which you will be visiting the campus twice a year, once in July, once in December, once on the Hyderabad campus, once on the Mohali campus. It's a great intervention of entrepreneurship, innovation, covering the core subjects like the finance, the marketing, etc. So you are ready. You are absolutely PGP ready 20 months from now. So this is how your entire journey starts, from the submission to getting the offer letter, then 20 months of preparation, and then joining the PGP program. So this is how your journey will look like. Now moving on to the next bit. Again, a lot of questions around, are there scholarships for YLP? Absolutely. The scholarship category, the scholarship component remains just the same, whether it be the direct admits or whether it be the YLP. all the category, all the awards are applicable to you, whether it be the need-based, the merit-based, or the diversity-based. Merit is fairly simple. You are submitting your application. There is overall scoring of your application, overall performance of your interview, right? You get a score, you get a merit score, and that's how the scholarships are awarded. Need-based is if your family CTC, if your family annual income is less than 18 lakhs, which is this year, it might change when you are applying for scholarships 2 years from now. So if it is less than that X mark, you're eligible for the need-based. And diversity is absolutely up to you, how you build your creativity. You could be participating in multiple clubs. You could be from a very niche background. You could be representing an NGO. It's entirely up to you. It's a creative space where we allow you to present your best case or present your strengths on the table, right? So in short, yes, you're absolutely eligible, just like the PGP, right up to 100% scholarships are available for YLP students. Right, so moving on to the next slide, what we've also done is, based on a lot of questions that we received, right? Again, there was a lot of comparison whether YLP is the right choice and whether it's comparable with, again, the direct admits. So we collected all of these questions and we floated a survey with our current students who are the YLP admits, who are the direct admits. And these are the results. Hands down, out and out, YLP was the winner, whether it be how are they able to manage the stress levels, how competitive it is, familiarity of the pedagogy, because you have access to the campus 2 years prior to joining the program. You know the faculty, you know the teaching style, you know the rigor, you know the evaluation process, you know who's where, what's where, right? So your familiarity to the campus, the pedagogy, and everything about ISB is a lot higher. And also you have enough time to gear up for PGP. You have 20 months, literally 2 to 3 years to start building on your additional skill sets. So hands down, YLP wins there. Coming to the next set of questions, preparation, right? Be it financial planning, or even if you want to reapply or defer, if you want to prepare for your GMAT GRE, YLP gives you that security, that safety net. It gives you enough and more flexibility to absolutely pitch your case for PGP. And this is absolutely based on a survey that we ran with the current students. So yes, even our current students feel that YLP definitely gives you that extra edge to your PGP career. The next and the last slide here, guys, again, a lot of questions around MBA in India versus MBA abroad. So here again, we did run a survey with our current students to understand how did they go about their decision-making, why India, and if they had multiple offer letters, what was the trigger to go ahead with the ISB? Hands down, guys, again, whether you be a working professional or whether you are part of the startup ecosystem, one thing that we understand is that India is a great canvas to operate in currently. India is the fastest growing economy. It is the perhaps only growing economy right now. It has the slowest unemployability rate. And whether it be the startup ecosystem, it is the third largest right now. So whether you're a working professional or whether you want to move into the startup, it is the place to be. And if it is India, ISB is the safest bet for you. If you have multiple offer letters, if you are able to compare the ROI, the students have realized that the kind of quality education that the Wharton and the LBS and the Kellogg's is offering to you through ISB in India, it's priced at anything in the range of about 30-35 lakhs. You end up paying about a CR outside, right? So definitely it's a safe, you almost spend about 1/3 the cost to do the same education. So hands down again, India ISB definitely wins the game here again for you.